All right, so we have our position n. So we're talking about the first term. And the first term can be anything, but I'm just going to call it a sub 1. Okay, and then we still have a sub 1. And let's say a sub 1 is 3. Okay, so that's my first term in my sequence. It's 3. My next number is my second number. We're going to call it a sub 2. That's my second number. That's the actual number itself. And what I've done with it is I've added d to it. Remember, d is that difference, okay? And let's say we make d 2. So I have 3, and then I have plus 2 is 5. So this is 3 plus 2. My third number is going to be a sub 3. And I'm just going to add d onto the one that was right before it, right? Because each time I'm adding on d. So I have a sub 1 plus d plus d. This would be like 3 plus 2 plus 2, which would give me 7. Okay, number 4, I'm just going to do a couple more of these. This is a sub 4. Going to add d again, so a sub 1 plus d plus d plus d. So that would be like 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, so that would be 9. Okay, and finally, my fifth term, a sub 5, is going to be a sub 1 plus d plus d plus d, right? The one before it, plus another d. So that would be like 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which would give us 11. Okay, so why am I doing this? I'm doing this to show you the pattern so that you can see where the formula comes from, where the equation of an arithmetic sequence comes from. All right, so you'll notice that the d's just keep adding up, right? So I can actually rewrite that. This one I can't, and this one I can't. Okay, but this one, I can rewrite this and say a sub 1 plus 2d. Right? And this one is a sub 1 plus 3d. And this one is a sub 1 plus 4d. Okay, so when I'm on my fifth term, I have 4d's. When I'm on my fourth term, I have 3d's, etc. So if I'm coming down here to a sub n, this means that I'm going to have a sub 1, because we've got a sub 1 on every single one of these, plus okay, n minus 1 times d. And the reason is because I have 5 here, 4 is 1 less. I have 4 here, 3 is 1 less. I have n minus 1 is 1 less. Okay, so this is the formula. And so this is, I should say equation. This is the equation, and I have it here too, okay? So this is important. You're going to need to know this. Okay, so a sub n equals my first term plus n minus 1 times my difference. All right. So write an equation. This is what a lot of your homework is going to be. Write an equation for the nth term of the arithmetic sequence of those numbers, and then find a sub 50.
RMEs, Desena, please come to the attendance window. RMEs, Desena.
Sorry about that. You gotta love those interruptions. Okay, so I have my formula. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. And the two things that I need a sub 1 and I need d, because n is just going to stay n in the equation. Okay, so a sub 1 is my very first term. That one's easy, right? It's just the first one. We start at 14. My difference is what is being added to it each time. And in this case, it's -3, right? We're losing 3 each time. So my difference is -3. So now all I'm doing is plugging these in. So I have a sub n equals 14 plus n minus 1 times -3. So I just plugged in a sub 1 and d. And now I need to simplify. And the way I do that is by distributing and then combining like terms. So a sub n equals 14 minus 3n plus 3. And now I combine like terms and I have minus 3n plus 17. So this is my equation for this arithmetic sequence. So what's the big deal? Why do we even do this? Well, it's because this will help me to know my 50th term. Okay, now I could just keep writing these out. You know, minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, 50 times. But say somebody wants the 2000th term, or you know, even 100th term. You don't want to have to do that 100 times. So I can plug in a sub 50 equals -3 times 50 plus 17. So I'm just plugging in n equals 50. And this is -150 plus 17, which gives me -133. So the 50th term of this sequence, if I wrote out 50 of them, -133 would be the 50th one. Okay, I hope that made sense. Let's do another one. Okay, I'm going to need this information again. And I've got a sub 1 is my first one, so that's an 8. And then this is going up by 8 every time. So now I'm going to plug these into my equation, and I get a sub n equals 8 plus n minus 1 times 8. Now I'm going to simplify. So a sub n equals 8 plus 8n minus 8. And when I combine like terms, I have 8 minus 8, and they cancel out. So a sub n is 8n. And if I want to know a sub 25, I just plug in 25. So 8 times 25 is 200. So the 25th term of this sequence is 200, and I didn't have to write them all out. Okay, we're getting short on time, but I want you to try this one. Let me erase so you can see it. So go ahead and pause your video now. Okay, so, I erased what was important. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. And I need a sub 1 and d. Remember, a sub 1 is the first term, that's 4, and d is what is being added to each one. And in this case, it's 1. So a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times 1. So a sub n, I'm going to combine like terms, plus n minus 1. This is going to give me n plus 3. So if I want to find a sub 25, so the 25th term in this sequence, I would have 25 plus 3, which gives me 28. And I hope that's what you got. Okay, this is the homework. It's on big ideas. Let me know if you have any questions.